This video discusses the most important rules of technical writing grammar. Make sure you take notes while watching this video. About 70 to 80% of your text in your documentation is going to contain instructions, instructing your user to perform tasks. For example, click cancel, slide the volume button, close window, etc. In fact, the commands just mentioned, click cancel, slide the volume button, and close window, are all examples of statements written in the active voice. The opposite of active voice is passive voice. Make sure it is avoided as much as possible for the instructions. The passive voice equivalents for the commands just mentioned would be cancel is clicked, the volume button is slid, and the window is closed. Such statements are never to be used in technical writing. The easiest way to teach yourself to use the active voice is to imagine yourself standing next to your users and instructing them to use a program for which you are writing the help. If you were standing next to your user, would you give instructions such as find button is clicked, window is clicked, etc.? No. Instead, you would use statements such as click find, close the window, and so on. Bear the scenario in mind whenever you are not sure what the active voice is. Recall the sentence press to play in the user manual of your DVD player. That's another example of a statement in the active voice. Even the Nike slogan, do it, uses the active voice. So rule number 1, use the active voice for instructions. Also notice how each statement began with a verb or an action word, such as click, slide, close, etc. This is the preferred method used in instruction statements. At this juncture, it will also be a good exercise if you could refer the help and manual installation guide you had downloaded in a previous lecture. Use the present tense while describing the results of instructions. For example, if a confirmation dialog were to open on clicking a submit button, you would use the present tense to describe the result of the action as follows. Click submit, a confirmation dialog appears. A confirmation dialog is displayed is also accepted, though it uses the passive voice. But a confirmation dialog will open is not acceptable, although it may be technically and logically correct. The will in the sentence, a confirmation dialog will open, implies the future tense. Using the present tense comforts the user of something that is happening right now. Here's another example. Double-click the icon on the desktop. The dashboard appears in the opening window. Now, are there any exceptions to the second rule? Yes, of course. There are places where you will not be able to use the present tense. For example, the text and lines in the introduction topic that we created earlier have text written in tenses other than the present tense. Another place where the present tense may not come into play are notes and caution sections, which we'll look into soon, and other descriptive sections of the application or product. Use the second person, you, more than any of the other persons, particularly in the instructions. Your and yours are also acceptable, but use them sparingly. Therefore, while addressing and instructing your reader, avoid the following. First person, that includes the use of I, we, me, mine, us, our, or ours. And the third person, which includes he, she, it, him, her, his, hers, its, they, them, and theirs. Are there any exceptions to this rule? Yes, there are. Let me explain. In the introduction topic, when introducing the help manual, it is more humane to write, we have prepared this help manual for you. In such cases, replacing the line with a statement such as, this manual is prepared that it may offer help when you are in trouble, just to use the present tense and the second person, that is you, sounds less humane. The key is to avoid mixing of tenses. We'll discuss these in the common errors topic. At this stage, you may ask, can I take exercises and practice tests for mastering these rules? The answer is yes, but I would advise that you don't waste a lot of time on them. Once you know the rules well, you're almost there to take up technical writing work.